See, there is a YouTube manometer. You can see the first figure. There is a YouTube manometer. That YouTube manometer is connected with a conical vessel. So initially, this conical vessel is not filled with water. Okay. So at that condition, what will level of liquid in the manometer, and according to that, what will be the pressure in both sides? That is the first figure indicating. Manometric fluid is having the density ρ2. Say that. Okay. And the density of liquid, which is at the right limb, is say it is ρ1. Then we are having the reference line 1, 1. Then in the left side, the pressure will be ρ2 into G into H2. What will be the right side? ρ1 into G into H1. That is the condition in the first case. You see the second figure. In the second figure, this conical vessel is completely filled with the water. And by mistake, I couldn't draw dotted line here in the conical vessel. Actually, it is completely filled with water. While you are preparing your notes, you have to indicate there. Okay. So now the height of water in the conical vessel is 2. Okay. And while it is completely filled with water, the pressure inside that will be get increased. And according to that, there is a depression in the manometric fluid. This is our initial level. And say this is our, this may be the first line. And from that first line, manometric, the level of manometric fluid get reduced. Okay. So that level will be Y. That reduction will be reflected in the left limb. That is Y there. Okay. Now we have to consider this as the second reference. So based upon the second reference, that is 2, 2, we can simply say what will be the second left side? It is ρ2 into pressure. Pressure in the left side. What will be the pressure in the left side? It is ρ2 into G into Y plus ρ2 into G2 into S2 plus again Y here, ρ2 into G into Y. Okay. So with reference to this line, that is 2, 2, what will be the right side? It is ρ1 into G into Y plus ρ1 into G into H1 plus ρ1 into G into 2. It is very simple. So left side is equal to right side. And based upon that one, you have to find out the parameters which is asking in the question. Okay, so I think it is clear to you. So next one is single column manometer. Single column manometer. The single column manometer, we simply observe with the right limb only in order to find out the pressure inside that system. That is why it is single column manometer. See, so this is the pipe to which we have to find out the pressure. Say the pressure at that pipe will be, say it is A, it is here. Then this limb is connected to a large reservoir. This reservoir is having the manometric liquid. And from that reservoir, this manometric liquid will be having the connection with this right limb. Okay. And so before connecting to this pipe, the level of manometric liquid in the large reservoir is X. At that time, what will be the condition? We are having Pa plus ρ1 into G into H1. In the left side, what will be the right side? Okay, that is ρ2 into G into H2. Okay, now when it is connected to the pipe, connected to the pipe, obviously the pressure inside the reservoir, the pressure inside the pipe is more. According to that, the level of that manometric liquid in the reservoir will get reduced. Say the height of reduction will be delta H. Okay. So since it is a large reservoir which is having large diameter, there should be a small depression. But in the case of right limb, there should be a large deflection will come. Okay, because there is the area is comparatively very less than that of that large reservoir. Then now we are taking the second reference YY. if you are taking the second reference YY, then we can simply say that the pressure inside the pipe plus ρ1 into G into H1 plus ρ1 into G into delta H, that will be is equal to, in the right side, what will be in the right side? ρ2 into G into delta H plus ρ2 into G into H2. Okay. In some cases, some question may be asked, you have to find out the value of delta H. So in order to find out the value of that delta H, we have to equate the volume of fluid which is get deflected. So in that case, say the area of cross section of this reservoir will be P. Then P into delta H will be the volume. That P into delta H will be is equal to, say the PA will be the area of cross section of the right limb. So that PA into H2 will be the volume of fluid which is deflected. That is the condition. Okay. So there is a relation. So these are the things I have written. You see, this P is the area of cross section of reservoir, not pressure. Area of cross section of reservoir into delta H is equal to PA into H2. From that, you can simply calculate delta H is equal to PA into H2 divided by P. So some question will be asked to find out delta H. That's why. This is the equation that I have already explained to you. So this is another question which is related to this concept. So according to that, you have a figure. So with respect to this reference line, we can simply say that PA plus ρ1 into G into 20 will be is equal to P2 will be is equal to ρ2 into G into 40. Okay. Suppose you want to find out a delta H, then what you can say? Then delta H into, you find out the area of cross section, that will be is equal to area of cross section of this small limb into the deflection in the right side. Okay. So next I have to explain about differential manometer. Up to this time, we have discussed about manometer in which in the right limb, that is the one end is open to the atmosphere. But here you see that right limb is connected to another pipe. Okay. Then the deflection in manometric liquid will indicate the pressure difference between these two pipes. Okay. So there are also some reference line may be there. So according to that reference line, you take the left side. How we can say that? PA plus, that is pressure inside this point. PA plus ρ1 into G into X plus ρ1 into G into H. That is in the left side. What will be in the right side? PB plus ρ1 into G into Y plus ρ2 into G into H. That is in the right side. And from this relation, you can simply find out PA minus PB. Okay. So I will show you what is in the left side. PA plus ρ1 into G into X plus ρ1 into G into H. That will be is equal to, in the right side, what will be? ρ2 into G into H plus ρ3 into G into Y plus PB. Since the other pipe is having a different liquid, the density will be different. That is why it is indicated as ρ3. Okay. Then finally, you can find out what be the pressure difference between these two pipe, PA minus PB. Another problem based upon this concept, a differential manometer is connected to two pipes line. So you can read, and I will explain with this figure. So here one pipe is connected, here another pipe is connected. So here it is A, so the pressure at this point will be PA. Here it is B, the pressure at this point will be PB. And here it is a manometric liquid is here, manometric liquid is here. Okay, so if you are making a reference line here, like here, a reference line here, then we can simply say that PA plus ρ1 into G into 4 plus ρ2 into G into Y, that is in the left side. What will be the right side? It is PB plus, it is PB plus that this level difference you have to find out. That is 4 minus 2.5 will give this level difference. Okay. So PV plus rho 3 into G plus that is rho 3 into G into Y. According to that, you can find out the pressure difference between these two pipes. Don't by heart all these things. You have to understand the concept only. Okay. You solve this problem and after that, you check with the solution that I have written here. Next, I have to explain about inverted tube differential manometer. Up to this time, we studied about normal U-tube. So U in the bottom side, here U in the upper side. Okay. So it is inverted. It is connected with two pipes. No concepts are same, but you see, just watch it. Here the pressure is PA. Here the pressure is PB, and here also a reference line is there. Here the concept is that in the left side, PA minus of PA minus of in bracket rho 1 into G into Z plus rho 1 into G into Y. That is in the left side. What will be the right side? In the right side, PB minus of rho 2 into G into Y plus rho 2 into G into Z plus rho 3 into G into Y, then you close the bracket. Okay, that is why you see this equation. It is very clearly written here. Okay, so this is the concept.